Excellent. So there's huge factors in terms of relationships and the environment a child is growing up in, adverse events, etc. Let's just touch briefly on other key aspects of lifestyle. Does sleep have any causative role and or treatment role with ADD?
Definitely. There are those who are quite well educated and bright that thinks that sleep is one of the causative and maintaining factors in a lot of the serious emotional disorders like ADHD and the other mood disorders. Now, so for instance, let's look at the 5 stages of sleep, and let's focus on stage 4 that we rotate through several times a night, and they all have a particular adaptive function on the brain, on the endocrine system, and on the personality and the mind that we articulate through relationships. For instance, in stage 4 sleep or rapid eye movement or dream sleep, that's the stage where several times a night we literally kind of reset the microvolts with our own natural shock therapy in these neural connections in the brain. Without that, we awaken the next day with poor attention, poor memory, increased emotionality, increased irritability, and inability to focus. All of those signs and symptoms which some people identify with attention deficit and other mood disorders. So that stage 4 sleep, if interrupted by lots of stressors and negative adaptive components to the lifestyle in the day, the poor little pineal gland and its little weak melatonin can't override that, and then the 5 stages of sleep don't occur well and we don't reset the microvolts. Stage 5 sleep is essential too. That's our slow wave component of each sleep cycle. That's the only part of the sleep cycle that we get any real rest and recovery. And so we wake the next day irritable because we're fatigued, having trouble with memory, encoding, and attention because we're fatigued, and we're unrested even if we slept all night if those stages are interfered with by extensive endocrine upheavals that can't be quieted over the night.
So sleep is a big deal. I know one of our mutual friends and national experts informed me years ago as to the scientific evidence on sleep and ADD, and his telling me that he thought, based on the evidence, that probably the majority of ADD may be caused by sleep disorders was big news to me. I'd never been taught that in medical school.
Right, and in fact, it just makes perfect rational sense. A lot of times I'm teaching families that I'm bonded with and who trust me and we have a good working relationship, that if I was in their family, I'd sleep with one eye open with all the stress and goings-ons. So that's kind of my way of putting it without going into the pineal gland and the endocrine system.
Wow. And we've touched on stress as a huge factor, adverse childhood events, relationships. Stress is obviously huge, and there's things we can do to deal with that, both for the individual and for their relationships, their family, their environment. What about nutrition? Is there any evidence for a role of nutrition?